And happy Friday to you. I hope you're well rested. I am. I have a great end of the week word for everybody. But before I begin, how about if we start with the whole armor, shall we? I thought I'd share this moment with you guys. Something I haven't been doing for this past week. I've been a little bit off. Uh, Actually, the fast was Sunday through Tuesday that I was talking of with the group that I did it with. And that's what threw things a little bit in a different way, but all praises be to God. And now we are at Ephesians 6 and 12. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. Wherefore, take unto you the whole armor of God, that ye may be able to withstand in the evil day. And having done all to stand, stand therefore, having your loins girt about with truth, and having on the breastplate of righteousness, and your feet shod with the preparation of the gospel of peace. Above all, taking the shield of faith, wherewith ye shall be able to quench all the fiery darts of the wicked, and take the helmet of salvation and the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of God. Amen. I haven't had my water yet. And today I am continuing in Kings, First Kings. And we're going to be talking about a couple things today. That's Solomon's wise judgment, and also the blessed prosperity of his country, his whole land. And so this is the tale of the two harlots. Then came two women. I'm at First Kings 3 and 16. Then came there two women that were harlots unto the king, and stood before him. And the one woman said, O my Lord, I and this woman dwell in one house, and I was delivered of a child with her in her house. And it came to pass the third day after that I was delivered, that this woman was delivered also. And we were together. There was no stranger with us in this house, save we two in the house. And this woman's child died in the night because she overlaid it. Handmaid slept and laid it in her bosom, and laid her dead child in my bosom. But when I considered it in the morning, behold, it was not my son which I did bear. And the other woman said, Nay, but the living is my son, and the dead is thy son. And this said, No, but the dead is thy son, and the living is my son. Thus they spake before the king. Then said the king, The one saith, This is my son that liveth, thy son is the dead. And the other saith, Nay, but thy son is the dead, and my son is the living. And the king said, Bring me a sword. And they brought a sword before the king. And the king said, Divide the living child in two, and give half to one and half to the other. Then spake the woman whose the living child was unto the king, for her bowels yearned upon her son. And she said, O my Lord, give her the living child, and no wise slay it. But the other said, Let it be neither mine nor thine, but divide it. Then the king answered and said, Give her the living child, and in no wise slay it. She is the mother thereof. So for those of you that didn't understand the biblical talk of it, is that the two women both had the babies at the same time in the same house. Nobody else was in that house, and when they one of them woke up, she saw that the baby had passed away that was in her arms, and she figured that that was not her baby. She looked at the baby, that's not my baby. She must have put this baby in my arms. She must have rolled over on her baby. This is not my baby. And so they wanted to ask the king to decide for them who keeps the child, the living child, because one was passed away. And so he's like, all right, but we'll just settle this real quick. Bring me a sword and I'm going to just split them up. So one of them like, okay, go ahead. And the other one, her bowels yearned for him, so she like covered him. She like where the baby was in her stomach, she covered him, and she's like, "No, just take him. Just don't hurt him. Okay, here, she can have him." And so he then knew that this is her baby because she would rather sacrifice having the baby, her pride aside, and everything based on the fact that she loved this child. But the other one was so hateful. I mean, didn't love the child at all. Even the people that was in the court in the movie, which it was just a movie, but you would imagine if there was any woman in the court that they also was like, no. But the other one yelled out, okay, fine. So that's just letting him know that she was that heartless that not only could she claim someone else's child, but she also didn't have any feeling for a baby that wasn't hers. And so I just settled the matter. And so this was something that really showed how wise he was in making these type of very big decisions. You know how we have a Supreme Court here where it would get to a court that high where the actual king will decide matters this great. And so this just goes to show how fast on his, how quickly on his feet he was thinking, how thorough of a mind he had, and also it speaks to the heart of man because a person will hurt themselves trying to hurt you if they would rather she would rather see a dead baby than for her pride to be broken and the lady have her child back after she claimed it was hers. In the spur of the moment, not considering how she would look to others, in that spur of that moment, her first thought was, okay, she didn't have the chance to say, oh, this is going to make me look bad if I say, okay, maybe I should say this or maybe I should say that. No, in the spur of the moment, she showed who she was. And what you'll find is all throughout the Bible, it's very clear how many cases that show the true heart and true intentions of people. And time after time, it also shows how clearly, how far people will go to hurt someone else who's in a better position than them. And I think that also, since the Bible is actually our instruction manual to life, and it speaks of most things that we will face in our lives, most situations that will come up in life. And this also tells of what type of kingdom he ran, that he was that hands on. And now I'm going to move on to the actual kingdom before I go on. Now I'm going to go to First Kings. Oh, I do want to speak of something that I had said on Wednesday about how, oh no, that was yesterday, how when God does something, how thorough it is. Because not only was Solomon wise for that time, but he was wise. He's the wisest king all the way through that time. His children, children, all the way till now. He is known as the wisest king ever. And so that's how thorough God is. And this is something to show and prove his wisdom for the books. And I'm at 4 and 29. And God gave Solomon wisdom and understanding exceeding much, and largeness of heart. So he was wise with balance of compassion. And don't get it messed up. He wasn't just compassionate. He was also um, very ferocious in his army, with his army. I want to say, I saw this post on Instagram, and being an empath, and it's saying that the little girl was an empath. I have to speak to this post because the mother took the phone, gave it to the daughter, and she began speaking to the daughter, saying how she's her best friend, how much she loves the daughter. And the daughter began to cry. The first thing she said, which she's my best friend, and the girl was a little girl. She's so beautiful. And it's like every time she said something, you could actually see the words hitting the girl in the heart because her face would not just light up, but it was like strange to her in my mind. It wasn't like something she said often. And that's why it was so overwhelming. Empaths are not that extremely soft that as soon as, even as a little child, that if we're regularly spoke to with love and concern, and we're regularly compassion spoke to and valued and all that, it won't break us if you say some kind words to us, even as a child. So this is something that to me looked fake, because that's not a regular response for someone who's used to that. It's like, what? Me? Who? What? Empaths are not these. We're not so sensitive that we break down at the sound of niceness. It's just like Princess Diana. She went to an engagement. And if you see now the backstory of what was going on, how um, much she was being, how much she was being ignored, how much she was being shown. Even come to find out that Camilla was the one who chose her for Charles. And the things that she found out, even to the point where she asked Prince Charles if he ever loved her, and he told her no to her face. And this came out in her book. So she went to this event, and people didn't know what was going on. And everybody was saying that, oh, the princess, this is when they was getting ready to divorce. And everybody was saying, oh, the princess, she is so she's so sensitive. She's so overwhelmed about every little thing. But she was not, her book hadn't came out. She was not telling her side of the story. That report had came out in the newspaper, but it was supposed to be a leak report through her friends that she never verified. So she went to this event, and she had already been doing all these events where she was doing uh, Peace Corps and all this stuff, where she was getting hugs from the little black kids, and people showing her love and everything. But when she went to a function with high esteemed people, the same circles that Charles would have ran in with his horse buddies and stuff, and they was giving her an award for this stuff. To get an award from them, and then they was talking to her like, you have reached out, you have shown so much love and compassion. She was like standing there, and it was not an act. She was not trying to make Charles look bad, and she couldn't help it but tears just start streaming down her face. It was because, not because she was so sensitive or so crazy, but because she was getting acknowledged in the group of people that she acknowledged, the group of people that she was with. Not acknowledged from everybody else, but the people that she looked up to, that she gave weight to, the people she respected. So I'm sure when this little girl go to school, she gets the same kind of attention everybody else gets. But if her mom gave her that same attention all the time, it would be nothing new for her to respond to. So I just want to say that I didn't say it in the comments because everybody else was giving her praise, but a true empath know and looked at that situation and said to themselves what I'm saying. A true chosen one looked at that with discernment, and was able to acknowledge that that was fake. And if it had been a time where the internet was not all out, this would have been something that someone could actually weaponize her for, see that in her, and say, oh, she got that light in her. And throughout her life, use her energy on her, which is something that a lot of mothers have done to empathic daughters. So I just wanted to say that. Not that she would do something like that. Moving on. Okay, now I'm at 4 and 29. And God gave Solomon wisdom and understanding, exceeding much, and largeness of heart, even as the sand that is on the seashore. That's how that's how much wisdom and understanding he. Can you imagine how much sand? You know how tiny sand is? That's how much in the seashore. And Solomon's wisdom excelled the wisdom of all the children of the east country and all the wisdom of Egypt. For he was wiser than all men, the Ethan and Ezrahite and Heman, and Chakol and Darda, the sons of Mohel. And his fame was in all nations round about. People were talking about him now. This is the man who have to fill the shoes of which he could never be his father, but he had to fill the shoes of. So I'm certain that the people that was looking to see how he would do, when Joel Osteen followed his father in the ministry, a lot of people don't even know his father was such a great minister and how big they don't even know about him. But when Joel Osteen first started, he was just working on the camera crew. And just like me and a lot of speakers, he never wanted to be in front. He was a background speaker. I mean, he was a background on the cameras. He was the one editing and stuff, and he enjoyed doing that. And just like a lot of us, we even though we wouldn't mind doing stuff online, like I get lip syncing and stuff or editing and stuff like that, it wouldn't be to the point where we're actually up and saying our ideas and talking in our um, own, sharing our thoughts in our lives and all that. I would never think I would be doing anything like this. It was just something I would never even consider. It's not something I try to, oh, I want to be out here. I need to be seen. No, this is not the way I want to be seen. I had very low self esteem and I really didn't feel like a talker, period. I've always been shy unless I was, which all my friends, they only see me when I was on something, if I was indulging. That's the only time I came around because that's the only time I was vocal because I didn't fit in otherwise. So I'm saying that because of this, how people was hearing all these great things about him and how he rose to the occasion because he knew where his help came from, the Lord. And God granted him the ability, just like he granted me the ability to speak. And I asked for wisdom and knowledge, and he truly um, I asked for God to help me understand the Bible. That's what I asked him. And help me understand. And the Holy Spirit led me to understand. That's what I asked for. And I asked him to show me how to speak to his people and ask the Holy Spirit to lead my way every time I come on because I'm still shy. I'm actually shy. And I'm sure that he would have never thought that he could live up to what was expected of him. And not only could he, but he exceeded what was expected of him. And he spake 3,000 proverbs. Oh, and I told y'all that David wrote all the Psalms, or he wrote all the Psalms, but David and him wrote Psalms, and other people wrote Psalms. And his songs were 1,005 at that time. And he spake of trees, from the cedar tree that is in Lebanon, even unto the hyssop that springeth out the wall. He spake about beasts and of the fowl and of creeping things and fishes. And there came of all people to hear the wisdom of Solomon from all kings of the earth, which had heard of his wisdom. And I think it's important for me to speak about how kings came. They would have to go across land and sea, a lot of times with camels, which are the slowest walking, because they was bringing gifts, bearing gifts. These weren't servants, these were kings. So they would be, excuse me, sometimes weeks to get there. And to leave their comfort, I don't care how much somebody fanning you in the middle of the desert. I don't care how much you got a tent up and y'all got a fire. There's still going to be bugs. There's still going to be discomfort, especially back then. Before kings to come out of their uh, abundant atmosphere, just to sit and hear another man speak, that is something that gives you pause to make you consider how entertaining it was to hear him speak. And not only that, but how people wanted to be his friend. They wanted to share his company. They wanted to see how he was running his kingdom because, as I'll get to, not only was he wise, but from the head to the tail, everyone wrote, I mean, everyone dealt in with integrity, with um I know a lot of people don't like Obama, but I really do. And a lot of black people do, and a lot of white people do. And it was something that broke when he became president. It gave people a sense of pride that a black man, even white people, could become president. This was a different kind of brother, and this was a different kind of sister, but they was very, very all around folks. They wasn't we are the people. We wasn't I mean they wasn't like right on. It was like for the United States, what he said about us as a whole, not about the black community. And it was a pride in that. And how he dealt with other people and even became someone who he went against, even Hillary Clinton, who wound up working for him. Not that he offered her the job, but she was willing to work for him. That when they would have debates and someone spoke against him to him, and he's like, no, 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 he's not a bad man. He's a family man. I know him personally. I don't agree with his uh, way he think or whatever. I mean, his laws or whatever, but he's a good man. And he spoke up for him. He defended him. And when he went abroad and he made contracts with Arabs, he was able to make contracts that nobody else was able to get. A lot of people was mad when the current president tore up the contract that he had for what's going on now. We had a contract with them for us to be able to see, to for them to update us about if they got anything that would look like them having the materials needed to make uh, a nuclear weapon. And we had all these on contracts but when they got in office, they was like, they better not do this, they better not do that. And they already wasn't doing it. But when somebody say it like that, it's just like, oh, we already know that, but you don't have to say it like that, like you ruling, you know? And it's a certain wisdom of how to deal with people that you can talk to somebody and get a clear understanding without having to belittle them. Or you can make your point and agree to disagree, not fall all the way out with somebody, and have your own opinion about something when you're an adult, not when you're a child talking to an adult. Because you can't come to meeting of the minds because your mind as a child is not mature enough to do that. But when you're adults, you can come to a meeting of the minds that wouldn't have to involve anything but you have all these people. They showed this thing where Obama was sitting in this room. They only showed the picture of it. They didn't show what they were saying because it was very, secretive. They would dare not put anything online. But they had this little thing where they was in a huddle. He was talking to all his main men. They had a picture of them or whatever. And he was looking like, what's they taking a picture for him? We're in a secret conference here. We're talking about wars and stuff. He was looking at them like, what's you doing in here? And that was because when certain people come together, it's such an event and it's so dignified and it's so high scale and it's so much integrity involved in it that somebody that's working at McDonald's ain't gonna know our war secrets. Theirs anyway in the Bible. Moving on. I'm gonna go now to how he ran his beautiful kingdom and what people. The last thing I'm gonna go to in the Bible before I expound on everything. King Hiram in First Kings chapter 5. And Hiram, king of Tyre, sent his servants unto Solomon, for he had heard that they had anointed him king in the room of his father. That was his friend, that was his comrade. For oh, Hiram was ever a lover of David. And Solomon sent to Hiram saying, Thou knowest how that David, my father, could not build a house unto the name of the Lord his God, for the wars which were about him on every side, until the Lord put them under the soles of his feet. And Solomon, oh, but now the Lord my God has given me rest on every side, so that there is neither adversary nor evil occurrence. And behold, I purpose to build an house unto the name of the Lord my God. And the Lord spake unto David my father, saying, Thy son, whom I will set upon thy throne in thy room, He shall build a house unto my name. Now therefore command thou that they hew me cedar trees out of Lebanon. And now I'm at 5:7. And it came to pass, when Hiram heard the words of Solomon, that he rejoiced greatly and said, Blessed be the Lord this day, which has given unto David his a wise son over this great people. And so Hiram sent Solomon, saying, I have considered the things which thou sentest me to, to me for, and I will do all thy desire concerning timber of cedar and concerning timber of fir. Okay, I do want to speak real quick before I stop about this. No, I'm just gonna wait till Monday to go into that. His friend was so excited to hear from David. I mean, from Solomon. His friend was so proud, and Solomon was so proud to send this to his friend. Can you imagine it being you, and you was a queen, and you was a king, my brother, my brothers, my sisters in humanity, Latino, Hawaiian, white people, all y'all. Definitely my black sisters and brothers. Like I'm just like everybody. um. Oh my goodness, that's what the lipstick all over my teeth. I'm learning how to talk better. um. Anyway, I can't put this much lipstick on now. I'm growing before y'all eyes. But if you know, you know. If you know, you know. Anyway, can you imagine being on a throne and your mother or your father was queen or king, and these people was like, you would see them coming around and them talking, having coffee, having cake. Be like, y'all kids go in there while we talking. Grown people in here talking. And then they'd be like, okay, Uncle Haram is about to get ready to go. Y'all come say goodbye to Uncle Haram. Y'all come say goodbye to Queen Elizabeth. Y'all come say goodbye to such and such. And they kids be playing with you, and uh, y- y- y'all be playing with them. And then now you grown, and their kids is grown, and they bring their kids, and y'all about to work on something that you and the father that was sitting with them having coffee and stuff. Now he's like, sorry about your dad, man. But I heard that you was working on that project you was talking about. Yeah, remember it was, yeah, we was talking about it together. I know y'all was, and I already talked to Uncle such such and his son, and they was supposed to be bringing all the wood from such such, and but we need some cedar from y'all. You think you can handle? You can I handle it? Oh, we're gonna get on that today for y'all. We're gonna start it down the rolling down the river, and we're gonna bring this and we're gonna bring that. Okay, well, um auntie auntie sent, she said she have a lot of gold to bring. Yeah, well, we got plenty of gold already. Yeah, but she got 25 karat gold, and she want to contribute to, and everybody coming together to honor what David, this good man, had put into motion years earlier on behalf of the good Lord who's blessing the land, and you can see the land flourishing. And everybody that's trying to put in, they like, we want our land to flourish like y'all. And so look, can I help? And even people that don't know y'all, And it's like, man, y'all, you heard about King David passed away. Man, that was a great man. That was a really good man. So his son on the throne. Yeah, his son is on the throne, but man, this dude, I heard he is wise. Really? He's like, no, not no. You know how David had great wisdom, but this man, I think God Himself gave him the wisdom. Yeah, yeah. They be going up there. They be going up there just camping about just to hear him talk. Like y'all, when y'all going back out there, I want to meet this great king. Have you met him before? No, I never met him, but my cousin met him. And they'd be like, "Come on, y'all, let's all go down there, bring a tent and stuff. Let's find something we can contribute to the house of the Lord. I got some incense. Oh, good, bring them. Oh, my kids, they make incense. My grandkids make incense. Yeah, bring them, bring them." And everybody coming in for this great thing, and they meeting people, great, getting more alliances. He just married the Prince of Egypt. As soon as he got on the throne, the Prince of Egypt's daughter, making family and making that the continent over, making that the country over Israel, joining them together, making it such a great nation of people in perfect harmony, walking in integrity. How much David's influence, because of God, affected the world, affected the whole world. These were the brighter days. These are the days that you have walked into, children of God. These are the days that, though I'm off of the past, but some things has been held up because of God giving your adversaries a chance to do the right thing by you. By you. Don't think don't think you're strange. Don't think less of yourself. Don't think that, oh no, it's a coincidence. No, it's not a coincidence. It's not as many true children of God as you think. And people have came against you for a long time. A long time. You know how many seasons that has been saying, it's coming, it's coming. And you would see things coming and things would change for you. And you would get it elevated more and more. But now we're in the last days. And a lot of the biggest, of the highest people are falling. And I don't say it with no happiness in my heart, with no, I pray, but there's some people that the Lord told me I cannot pray for. But because I prayed yesterday that all of my opposition will come to peace. And he told me last night, some people I cannot pray for. Don't put it so wide. Don't use it so widely. But I don't say it with no joy in my heart. I just say it as a matter of fact, that brighter days are here for God's children. And this is why the Lord brought King Solomon to me. But there was a season that it was brighter days for them. Even in their evil doing, there was a time where there was brighter days that the Lord blessed them with. And then they got far away from that, as things will turn in King Solomon's story. But this story is being brought up to show how well anyone could be set up. And this is for your brighter days. that you remember God, that you remember all the trials, all the opposition, everything that you have had to go through to get to the time where you start to see changes in your life. Because for some reason, a lot of God's children did not start off well off and were not the lenders, but the borrowers. And a lot of our trials and tribulations that came through the people that were our opposition. Our tests and trials came to see how faithful we were, if we would stay on our narrow path, how much we was down for the Lord, how much He could trust us. And as you handled the small things, He gave you greater. And the more you appreciated um, different things, even though life happens, we have losses. Even where we have people who come and go, who give to our lives, and we are so sad to see them go. It breaks our heart, and sometimes lead us completely off track. And it breaks our heart to see them go. But even in that, God gave us the peace to be able to be our understanding, just to be able to press, not to make it might not make it much easier. It might be still so heavy on your heart, but so you can get out of bed. And as much as you press towards healing that you could. These are the brighter days. You know how you see a lot of land and it's plentiful. I guess I'm thinking of the background here. And you start building on that land, and you have um, been building for a long time. Like, okay, this is going to be the shed here. I guess we'll use this is going to be the shed we live in for now. But eventually, I'm going to have enough money to get some material to start getting, building the house. Then you start building the house, be like, eventually, I'm going to be able to get the pipes and stuff together so that we can have some plumbing. Well, eventually, I'm going to be able to make that shed into an outhouse. Well, eventually, I'm going to be able to make that shed, widen that shed, and make it a small apartment. Well, eventually, I'm going to be able to make a driveway. Well, eventually, I'm going to be able to make a carport. Well, eventually, I'm going to get me a trailer and put on the land. Well, and then you get all these things one by one as years go on. And you wind up backing up, and then finally you start seeing everything has came together. Now is the time where you start seeing fruit falling off the trees. Now is the time that you start being able to get that car to drive into that driveway. Now is the time where you're able to have some money in your account in order to get the furniture replaced that you have in there, the new set or whatever. Now is the time where you'll be able to get money, put money in the bank, and have extra money. Now is the time that your sickness, your illness will be able to come into a place where I was looking at how it was flooding yesterday here, and it was raining so much. And last night, the Lord told me that's how it's going to be in a lot of our chosen's lives who has met this point. And a lot of you who are watching me now, who are able to watch me now or watch me after this, that are drawn to this, that is put in the line of this stream from my lips to your ears, a lot of you are going to be getting that flood in your life as in blessings on blessings on blessings. And you'll be able to see the glory of the Lord, and other people will be able to see the glory of the Lord fall on your life. And it's not a fairy tale. And God is not in a distant, far off land. And where He's been quiet, and you've been hearing Him. Other people are going to be able to witness what you have been hearing. You are going to be able to witness what you have been hearing, what you have been told so long ago that you started to question, hey, is this really what I heard? You are going to be able to witness it coming to fruition. These are the King Solomon's first days where he was set up by his father, just like you set up by your father, and you're set aside, and people are going to in awe and wonder, what God are you serving? Who is this God that King David was talking about that has now put you in a position where the blessings have not only hit him, that they have streamed down on you? Who is your father? Who do you serve? Well, I only have one God. One God. There is only one God, the Most High. And He have a Son. His name is Jesus. And we have a Comforter and a Guide, the Holy Spirit, the Trinity, Abba Father, Yahweh, Yeshua, and the works that you have been doing in the world that has been seen, the seeds that you have planted are now growing and abundantly. I don't We don't celebrate Halloween, as you guys know, but there was this big pumpkin, not Charlie Brown, but they had grew this pumpkin that was so very big. It was just like I wouldn't eat no pumpkin pie for that, because that thing looked like it was on steroids. But that's just what popped in my mind when I said seeds are seeds flourishing. It's that it's abnormally abnormal looking cabbage, like abnormal looking apples, like your seeds that you planted is going to look abnormally rich. And it's going to be because it's going to show the glory of God on it. It's going to show what you've been doing in the dark, what He has been having you do in the dark. Because people be religious and they be in the light, they be going to church, they be religious about it now, but people don't see what they do in the dark. And just like that, you've been in isolation and people don't see what you've been doing in the dark. They don't see the nights that you cry because of the mistreatment that people have been giving you that you didn't deserve. They don't see how you stayed on your knees, face down, crying out to your Father. Lord, why are you quiet right now? Why are you letting this happen to me? Where are you at, God? And all you can do is get up and just keep your faith based on the things that He has done, based on the things you're still seeing, based on the peace you're still getting. But you're just wondering, why are these people able to treat you like this? Why is everybody able to come against you like this? Yes, you're doing this for me, Father, and I'm so grateful. And you're inviting more blessings to your life because you're grateful for the blessings that you have. But you're just wondering, how is this happening? It's not overshadowing your blessings, but it's like, what am I doing to deserve this? What is this? Lord, I don't do anything outside your will. Lord, I try not to even think wrong. I guard my eye gates. I guard my heart gates. I guard my ear gates. I don't gossip. I don't even cuss. I don't play the lottery. I know little stuff that people feel like, well, you could do that because, I don't say nothing about that. I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about me. It's so far from the life I used to live. I don't drink coolers. I don't sip when nobody's watching.
I go and order something from, and I sit at the bar to wait for my order to come in because that's where they have you sit for takeout orders. And I don't even have a desire, not even looking at nothing when nobody's looking. Oh, well, nobody could see me here. I just, no, I don't do that. And a lot of us chosen on our narrow path, we don't care if somebody looking or not. I don't care if it's cameras in my house. It probably is. Probably looking at me now. Probably when stuff shut down. That's probably why. But I don't care because I'm not doing nothing wrong. If somebody was filming my whole life, that's cool with me because I'm not, it's boring. So then to be doing all this and not like you get paid for paid or nothing, but I'm saying when you get a regular treatment, but for all that time, not like God have to pay you back for nothing because his grace of just you being here out of all the attacks from people not even wanting you to be here for your children, the people closest to you, just by him opening your eyes, letting you see certain things. That was enough for you to say, Lord, if you didn't do anything else for me. But there's some things that hurt our feelings. And our feelings are things that you can't see. But those things, by the time you get over it so much that you're numb to it, that you have worked your way through it, you've done so much work on it or whatever, on different things where you don't care about validation from people, you're over the people pleasing, whatever, codependency, and you find out that you've been working through stuff all this time. I see what time it is, but I came on like 5 minutes late. I'm trying to go off in the same time I come on. Like King Solomon's kingdom, do things in the proper order as us as chosen ones, even if we slip up sometimes, even if we feel like, you know what, ain't nobody showing no effort. I don't want to be doing all extra, coming all extra overdressed. I don't want to be, well, so what? We are set apart for a reason. And so what people think. And these are brighter days. There's this song, it's house music. And it's ooh, oh, I need, ooh, ooh, oh, I need brighter days, brighter days. That's what it just came to my head. I found out through somebody that God said to me that there's some songs that do come to your mind while you're uh, prophesying and speaking that God will work in there. So shout out to Arise Candy, Miss Candy. But this is the time of milk and honey flourishment, and it's going to look irregular. I'm sure that you've already started seeing it, and people have already started seeing it. Even how you look will change. I don't look the same. I don't look the same as I looked last month, and there's a lot that's going on different with me. It's been a transition, and because so much is changing inside of you, it's coming out outside of how you eat, how you probably stretch, how you work out, and even if it's just your mental state, even if it's just you pulling and reaching for better, even if you're just starting your journey, you're moving at a rapid pace. If the matrix was true, it'd be like you took the red pill and now you have awoken, you just going at a rapid pace. God bless you. Have a great weekend. I love you with the love of God, and God loves you so much. Enjoy your milk and honey, loved ones. Peace.